channel. I'm super excited today because I get to give another makeup tutorial. This one's extra special because I was able to get this look right here using one palette. So I purchased this palette from Tarte. It's the Engery Nior, and I purchased it last fall, end of summer. I challenged myself and I said, you know what? Try to get a whole look. Using these colors right here, I was able to achieve this whole entire eye look, cheek, and highlight with just this palette. That's pretty awesome. The fact that I was able to achieve this with one palette just speaks to how nice this palette really is. When I saw it at the store, I was just like, that's beautiful. Yeah, if you like the look, go ahead and stay tuned. Hey everyone! Alright, let's get this thing started with the NYX Angel Veil Primer. I'm going to go ahead and smooth that right over my face. I'm going to give it a base for the foundation to stick to. I saw my lips were looking rough, so I took the NYX Butter Lip Balm in Brownie and I smoothed it all over just for some color and hydration. For foundation, I use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in 108 and the Maybelline Fit Me in 128. I love the mixture of these two, even though honestly they're pretty great formulation on their own. But right now I'm a little light, so I had to blend. With the damp Real Techniques complexion sponge, I'm going to go ahead and press the rest of the product that I applied with the foundation brush into my skin. And I really love this because I feel like it gives me a way more full coverage and an even application of the product. So I wanted to show you guys the mirror that I use to do my makeup, and I got this mirror at the dollar store and I was like, yes. For my brows, I'm going to go in with Anastasia's Brow Wiz in the color Chocolate. I really love this pencil, and what I like to do with my brows is I like to shape the outside first, so I kind of know where I'm going to go back in later on and fill in. When you're doing the top line, it really helps to brush the hairs down so you can actually see where the natural line is and then go ahead and create a more defined line. After the highest point of the brow is defined, you want to go ahead and take that line and drag it down and outwards. I've been thinking about doing a brow tutorial, but I'm not sure. If you guys want one, let me know, comment below, and I will definitely put one up for you. Yes, I know, I was holding upside down. I was so confident about it too. But with the Maybelline Fit Me in color Light and a flat head brush, I'm going to go ahead and use this product two ways. One, I'm going to go ahead and carve out the line. This is really awesome if you're not a pro at applying your pencil or shadows to the brow. This is going to help clean up anything that kind of stepped out the line. Then I'm going to drag it downwards and use it as an eyeshadow base. I think this product actually does really well for that purpose. As in most things that you're going to do on your face, you're going to repeat on the other side. So same way, carve it out, drag it down, and use it as your base. And now the star of the main event, the Tarte Palette Engery Noir. I'm going to go ahead with this vanilla color right there at the corner. And with the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, I'm going to go and use that color, pop it all over the lid, and I'll use this color as kind of like my base color so that the other shadows will blend nicely on top. Going back into the Tarte palette, I'm going to use that light mauve color and the Real Techniques base shadow brush to apply it really softly in the crease. This is kind of going to be my first transition shade. When I say softly, I really do mean softly. I try to hold the end of the brush and just kind of sweep it back and forth. But one of the things I've noticed is that a light hand is really essential. You can always build up color as you go along, but you can't go backwards, so important tip. With the same brush that I used to apply the overall lid color, I'll go back in there and just kind of blend everything out. With the Real Techniques Base Shadow brush, I'll go back in there for the dark plummy color, taking the most concentrated color on my brush right now, right below the crease. And as you can see, I'm not going really dramatic with the back and forth of the brush. Right now, I'm just more focused on applying the color exactly where I want to, and then I will just slightly buff that color out. Back into the palette, I am going to pick out the black right there. Using an e.l.f. blending eye brush, people, this brush is $1. Like, seriously? And I really, really love it because it allows me to apply the color exactly where I want it to go. Make sure to build this color up gradually, not to put a whole bunch of the black on your brush. And this, as you can see, I'm doing like a little circle motion to kind of blend it outwards. And that's way more effective than actually going all over the lid with that color. We really want to deposit that depth of color right in that corner. So what I'm doing right now is dictating where the color is going to be deposited. Is it going to be more on the lid? I brush it inwards, and if I want it more on the outside towards the crease, I just roll my brush in the outward motions. Either one is going to dictate where that color is going to be applied. Here I'm showing you that I'm going back in for that plum color because I'm layering it up, covering that black, because I really want the purple shadow to come up more. It's just that the black's going to give it some depth. Taking whatever's left on the brush, I go ahead and I distribute it evenly, and I try to get into the upper corner of the eye just so that there can be some depth in that corner, because we really want to create a smoked out look. Now we're going to work on the lids using that soft purple color. We're going to apply it with the Sigma E55 brush. And I'm going to use some Max Fix Plus to make sure that it adheres and bring out the color in this shadow. So I'll go ahead and spray my brush first. I'll dip it into the shadow, and then I will pat it onto the lid. I will not brush it. I will not drag it across. I will pat that color on the lid. I'm focusing that color from the middle of the lid, and I'm gently applying it on the outside as well. Then I'll take the silvery color. This brush, I'm sorry guys, like I got this in an Urban Decay palette years ago, so I couldn't tell you what brush that is, but I'll apply the silver color from the inner corner towards the middle of the lid. Here I just took my E40 brush and just made sure I blended everything together nicely. So here's what I'm really excited about. I'm going into the highlight color with a Lancome brush that I got, once again, years ago. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but I will use some Max Fix Plus, and I will apply that highlight into the inner corner of my eye. How awesome it is to have a palette that has a highlight already in it. You don't have to worry about purchasing one. It is right there for you, people. Highlighting is another thing that you'll want to build up gradually so you can determine exactly how much highlight color you really want to have there. But I just kind of keep going back in and going back in until I find the amount of highlight I like. Now I'll use the Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in the color Perversion. And I'll use this color to tight line my upper lid. People, I understand this is like not for the faint of heart, like but I really do this because whenever I'm making a smoky eye look and I'm applying my mascara and I'm having a liner on top, I want to make sure that you cannot see the white portion nearest my lash line. Using L'Oreal's Infallible Gel Liner in the color Black is Black, I'll go ahead with the Real Techniques liner brush, and I'll use this color in the lid, and I'm going to try to create a soft, wing line, you can say. So for me, I always start at the corner, kind of where my natural bottom line is, and I'll drag that upwards. And then from there, I'll do small little strokes moving inwards at the base of the lash line. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm just like everybody else where I kind of hold my breath when I'm doing my liner because anything is liable to happen at this point. And then you just find yourself in like a major like mess up. But that's why I really try to start at the lash line and then just work from there going up. And sometimes I just try not to make my line too thick anyways, because sometimes when we're trying to thicken the line up, that's when we usually mess up. So the minute I can get a line remotely close to the way I want it to look, I kind of just stop right there. On this other eye, you can see more of what I mean when I say that I use the bottom lash as my guide to where to apply the first stroke of the liner. It really is a great place to apply the liner to create a wing that looks the most natural. Okay, this is a great find for me. It's the Becca under eye brightening corrector, and I just love it. For this, I use the e.l.f.'s Flawless Concealer Brush. I know, it's weird why we use brushes on the most random things, but that's what I like to use it for. So I kind of apply this the same place where I would apply the concealer, in that little V section area. And I just find that this just naturally brightens up underneath the eye, and it keeps it bright all day long. With the Real Techniques complexion sponge, I will go ahead and pat that brightening corrector right in till it looks smooth. Talk about another great find. This is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer, and I'll apply that using the Real Techniques Pointed Foundation Brush. So I got this concealer because of the orange pigment in it that will help neutralize the blue that I have under my eyes. I don't know. I've been trying to get rid of that blue, but I'm pretty sure it's just hereditary. It's a lot softer when I have a tan, but it's wintertime. So with the Real Techniques complexion sponge, I'll go ahead and pat the rest of that concealer right in. And yes, I have one more concealer. I know it seems like a lot, but I'll go back in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color Light. Honestly, guys, I don't typically wear 3 different, under eye products. But this is something that I've just been trying out recently, and I thus far have been liking it. I'm sure you're concerned with the amount of cakiness that must happen underneath my eye, but honestly, it's been very minimal. So no more than what I would usually have when I do my under eye concealer, so I go hard. I'm also putting concealer around the bottom of my nose and my upper lip because I tend to have some redness around my nose, and that's due to broken capillaries that are there. See, you can't tug on your skin. But once it's done, it's done. There's nothing you could do about it. Unless you have some laser, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I'm also going to put some concealer around the outer corners of my mouth because I tend to have some discoloration. I did a lot of tanning this summer, but it also could be related to hormones. So who knows? It could be either or. Then I'll take my Lancome eyelash curlers that I got a bazillion years ago, and I will curl my lashes. Using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I will go ahead and apply it to set my concealer, making sure that all of that stuff that's happening under my eyes isn't moving. With the L'Oreal Superstar mascara, I'm using the primer side first to prime my lashes. I love priming my lashes before mascara is applied. It is so awesome to make your lashes look thicker and longer and beautiful. Now I'll use Telescopic from L'Oreal. I love this mascara, even though I like doing the really, really dark carbon black one, but they didn't have it, and I went like twice, and I was like, fine, I'll get the regular one. But yeah, I like the carbon black one better than this one. But I am not a false lash wearer. For the day-to-day, it's just not my thing. So I really try to pump up the volume in my lashes by any means necessary. Oh my gosh, try not to pay attention to how scrawny my bottom lash is. But yes, I'll put mascara down there as well. With my multitasking Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, I will go ahead and kind of choose the areas of my face that I want to highlight, like my chin, my nose, parts of my forehead, and that's just to create more dimension and depth in my face. So yeah, that's what I like to do. I'll pat that bad boy right in, making it all blend and smooth and beautiful. Alright people, we're near the end. With the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit and the Sigma F40 brush, we'll do some light contouring around the face. And honestly, I really hate to use even the word contour. I just like to say I like to create some depth in my face, because if not, it would just be super flat, and I have to create some shadows to that highlight that I got going on. As you can see, I kind of like to blend that color down to my ears and my neck, especially when you have your hair pulled back. You definitely want to do that, making sure that the colors blend throughout. I use the same color I did for my bronzing of my face, and I use the MAC 217 brush to lightly contour my nose. Oh, I said the dreaded word again. Oh well, I wanted to, just kind of, give my nose some shadow. I don't necessarily want a skinny nose, I just don't want it to be all flat. Then I will use the blush color in the Engery Nior palette and a Maybelline brush that I got another bazillion years ago. And I'll just go ahead and apply that to the apples of my cheeks. What a pretty color. It's just so soft. It's like a mauvey pink color. Back into the palette, I will go ahead and take the highlight color. Okay, people, I'm so sorry, but I got this at the craft store, Michael's craft store. It's a tack-on brush, and yeah, if you want to use that, you can go to the store and get it. But I will highlight my brow bone and my cheekbone, building up that highlight gradually. This is really a beautiful highlight. It's just like so crazy that it's like hiding in a palette somewhere, you know, just waiting to be discovered. Try not to be mad at me, but I have another brush. It's the e.l.f. Small Stipple brush. And I just use this to blend out the line of my highlight. I wanted to amp up the volume in my highlighter, so I used Max Fix Plus just to give it a little bit more zhuzh. Yes, darling, yes. Highlight those cheekbones. I also like to highlight the bridge of my nose because it is so pretty when you do. And the top of my lip. This is the Milani lip pencil in the color All Natural. It's a really nice neutral color that can be worn with so many different lipsticks. That's why this is the second time I've purchased it. My lips are beyond crooked, so it takes me forever to do the liner. Seriously. For lip color, I will use MAC Modesty. This is such a pretty, like, mauvey, dusty rose lip color that I actually recently purchased and I love. Following Modesty, I will use Ample Pink by MAC. It is one of their plush glass lip glosses. And yeah, this kind of just finishes off the look. And I love it. I hope you do too. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe. Bye guys.
I'm so tired.